I don't think any beta Gabe and I have ever played has left an impression quite like 33 Immortals did. We were skeptical going in, I mean seriously a 33-player co-op game, but that only made it more awe-inspiring when it actually worked, and honestly it didn't just work, the gameplay sang. Running through a mission with such a massive group, watching everyone tackle objectives, enemy waves, and bosses together was an experience unlike any other. We've been eagerly awaiting its return ever since. Now, after sinking many more hours into the early access launch, we're here to see if it lived up to the hype we built around it. I can say it did, but the road ahead is uncertain. 33 Immortals still has a lot to get right before its 1.0 launch, but if it does, this could go down as one of our all-time favorites.
Okay, so
I'm putting out
what do we do?
Ability. Somebody take it with me.
Give me a bubble! I got a bubble!
Let's go!
Hell yeah!
My guy!
Wait. Come on! Arrows! Yes!
Oh, he did it!
Let's fucking go!
That's my guy! That's my guy!
This is awesome, dude.
Given the name, you might be wondering, how does a 33-player co-op game actually work? Well, for starters, you don't need 32 friends. The game supports 4-player parties via online co-op, meaning you only need 3 others to squad up. After a brief tutorial, you'll arrive at the hub. Here you can create a party and share a code for others to join you. Do note that all players must be present at the hub before starting a run, as there's no option to join mid-run. That means if a player gets disconnected, they unfortunately can't rejoin the session. That said, you don't need a squad to play. You can join up with the other 32 players solo, though there's no party matchmaking. For an early access release, 33 Immortals ran pretty well. We encountered minimal bugs, the most annoying of which being a recurring bug that caused one of us to disconnect when starting a run. But otherwise, it's been a smooth experience. The game is currently available on Xbox, PC, and Game Pass. Sadly, it's exclusive to the Epic Store on PC, which is a bummer, an issue we'll touch on more later. On the bright side, it does support full crossplay. With all that covered, I'll let Andrew take us through the gameplay loop now.
Oh, fuck.
Get out of there! Oh, no! I survived.
That's fine. Oh my god, a bubble. Oh, I didn't get a bubble. Fuck me, dude.
No!
No! Oh my god, I'm at 1 health. I'm at 1 health.
Wow, 1 health. That's crazy.
33 Immortals is best described as an action roguelike with raid-like mechanics. As Gabe put it, you enter a run with a squad of up to 4, but you're actually working alongside 33 players in total. You'll spawn in a small open area, Inferno in this case that you're seeing, where you'll immediately notice a lot happening. Enemies are everywhere. Question marks dot the map. There are gates, level up spots, and other mechanics to figure out. It is overwhelming at first, but after a couple of runs, it all clicks. Your first major objective is to wait for torture chambers to open. These gated areas scattered across the map allow groups of up to 6 to enter and fight through waves of enemies, culminating in an elite mini-boss. Completing a torture chamber rewards you with a chest containing a relic, which are your in-run power-ups that boost things like damage percentage or healing over time. You'll also earn bones, which are your in-run currency, which can be spent outside of torture chambers to heal, buy a teleporting stone, or purchase a key. The teleporting stone lets you jump to any player on the map, while the key grants access to an extra chest after a torture chamber, giving you more bones and another relic. After clearing your first torture chamber, you'll check the map to see how the rest of the lobby is progressing. You're gonna need to clear 12 in total, but right now let's wait to go to that because it's probably time for you to level up. That purple meter in the bottom right is your dust meter, which fills as you defeat enemies, and when it's full, you can go to one of these little spots on the map and level up and run. Leveling up in a run lets you upgrade one of these 3 abilities: Power, Health, or Empathy. Power and Health are straightforward enough, but Empathy ties into your class's co-op abilities, which means I need to talk about classes. Before starting a run, you're going to pick a weapon, which is basically your class: bow and arrow, daggers, sword, or staff, each with unique abilities, movesets, and most importantly, a co-op power. Empathy boosts the effectiveness of these co-op powers. For example, the dagger class specializes in high damage. As you defeat enemies, you charge up a co-op power in the bottom left corner, and when it's ready to activate, it's going to place a sigil on the ground. Another player is going to come up to that sigil and also activate it with you, and that's going to grant grant you and that player an ability. And the higher your empathy stat, the stronger that effect will be. So for instance, with the daggers, if you get that ability, every hit you do for a time is not only going to give you bones, but it's temporarily going to scale your damage up with how many bones you have, because daggers are all about damage. Now let's get back to the action. Enough about classes, let's see where we're at in the run. You're going to keep running torture chambers until you complete all 12 like I mentioned. You're going to collect relics as you do that to power up your character. You're also going to get bones as that in-run currency, and of course you're going to be leveling up your character in-run as well. Eventually you're going to unlock Phase 2, the Ascension Battle. This event calls all players to one of several points on the map to take on a massive enemy horde and a final push to unlock the boss. If successful, the group ascends to face Lucifer, the boss of Inferno. He is honestly kind of incredible, but we'll get to him later. Defeating him rewards you with a ton of currency, new perks for your next run, cosmetics, and keys to unlock the next level, Purgatorio. Unlike traditional roguelikes, 33 Immortals isn't about completing the whole game in one go. Instead, you unlock keys to progress through new levels. Each time you run Purgatorio, you're going to use a key, so eventually you do have to come back and run Inferno to get more keys. In between runs, you're going to come back to the main hub where you're going to equip perks, which are kind of like permanent relics. You're also going to track your progression through feats, and eventually you're also going to be able to upgrade your weapons. And that's sort of the loop. Time to dive back in and take on Inferno and Lucifer again and again and again. But now that you know how it all works, how does it feel? Let's turn it over to Gabe for that one.
Oh my god, we've had 4 bells in a row. 5,
so
and
many,
I will be the 6th.
So
I will be the
bows
6th.
in this run. Oh my god.
Oh my god, dude, that was crazy. There was so many bows in a run. Oh my god, dude.
It's just
oh
never
my
ending.
god,
It's never ending.
dude. Oh my god. What?
Holy crap, his health is just going crazy.
Roguelikes live or die by their gameplay, and 33 Immortals is up there with the best of them. That's especially impressive considering the last game from this team was the cozy management sim Spiritfarer. All 4 weapons feel great, with responsive animations and a snappy dash that makes every fight feel crisp and satisfying. Each kit is simple. You have a basic attack, a charge attack, and a co-op power. But despite that simplicity, there's plenty of room for skill expression. Even with just 4 weapons, at least for now, perks and weapon upgrades allow for unique builds. Perks range from standard stat boosts like increasing a specific attribute to more specialized effects such as dealing extra critical damage when your co-strike level is high. But wait, what's a co-strike, you might be asking? These trigger when attacking the same enemy as another player, boosting everyone's critical hit chance. It's one of many great co-op mechanics that make 33 Immortals feel like a cooperative raid style experience. And the game is packed with these. Players can conduct group heals at altars or use 3 different emote wheels to communicate their needs. You could signal for help or even use directional arrows to guide teammates. These cues show up on the map too, making it easy to rally players, like when we need some help clearing a chest. Seriously guys, can you get over here please? All of these mechanics shine in boss fights, which introduce their own unique co-op challenges. So finally, let's talk about Lucifer. This guy is so freaking epic. Seriously, they totally understood the assignment with these boss fights, and the intro animation for him never gets old. You'll need to learn his attacks fast, as many can one-shot you unless you work together to interrupt his abilities. That might mean breaking the shackles on his arms, or destroying some crystals before he finishes casting. It can be easy to get distracted by ads, and unless you have everyone's attention on these tasks, you simply won't get it done. But when everyone locks in, chaining co-op powers, and barely securing the W, it's an incredible rush I haven't felt since the early days of Destiny raids. That brings me to one of my favorite aspects of 33 Immortals, which is how naturally cooperation happens. In my first fight against the second boss, I had no idea what to do, but one player quickly became our de facto leader, using arrows to direct us. Instead of being told what to do over voice comms, I learned the mechanics simply by observing and being guided by others. In this regard, the lack of in-game voice chat actually enhances the experience, and I just find that really cool. In another run, I saw a player signaling for help to activate these sigils on the ground, but he needed like 6 people and was surrounded by enemies. I'm ashamed to admit that I bailed at first, but when others arrived, I doubled back, and while I won't spoil what happens if you activate these, I'll just say it led to another great co-op moment that I stumbled upon totally by accident. Despite having only 2 levels right now, every run feels fresh thanks to these emergent co-op moments. Add in daily quests, long-term progression, and build crafting, and there's always something to work towards. Even failed runs reward you with new perks or at least some currency, keeping the grind satisfying. I know I speak for both of us when I say all the pieces are here. 33 Immortals has the makings of a truly great co-op game. I'm just a little afraid it won't have the chance to fully realize that potential.
Okay, this moves, so move was the circle.
Okay. This is so crazy.
Shit.
My guy with the emotes?
Revive it, let's fucking go. And then
Put
I
up-
think
I
reverse.
put up Yep. I got the deer out. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh god, it's happening.
As you can tell from Gabe's impressions, we love so much of what 33 Immortals is doing. It nails the premise in a way that really doesn't get old. I mean, seriously, we have fought Lucifer more times than I can count, and I still enjoy doing it. But that doesn't mean it's perfect. Part of the reason I fought Lucifer so many times is because Purgatorio isn't something you can conquer nearly as easily as Inferno. Just because you get a key right after beating Lucifer doesn't mean you should jump in right away. Not only do enemies hit way harder and have massive health pools, but the movesets ramp up the difficulty to the point where brute force just won't cut it. You need to level up your character, equip a few perks, and upgrade your weapon, ideally reaching around feat level 7 before you stand a real chance. The bigger issue isn't just the difficulty. I mean, both Gabe and I love a challenge, and we were often the highest ranked at the end of our runs. It's the fact that players can attempt Purgatorio long before they're ready. This means the player pool, which does drop down to 22 in the second level, is often filled with underprepared players who struggle to survive, sometimes barely even making it to their first torture chamber. At first, this made clearing the second level feel nearly impossible. Our runs wouldn't end because we weren't strong enough, but because our numbers weren't. Too many players would drop before the boss fight even started. But after playing more, we finally broke through and took down that tough second boss twice in a row. And while you're still dependent on getting a solid group, it's not as dire as we first thought. With the right mix of players, it is possible, and man does it feel incredible when it all comes together.
Come on. Oh my god, it's so close.
Oh,
That was life or death. That was life or death. Because if she would have popped that super, I think we would have gone down.
yeah. Wowzers, dude.
Dang, dude. That's crazy.
That said, I still think the devs should add a recommended feat level or some kind of warning before players jump into Purgatorio. It wouldn't just help individual players, it would improve the experience for everyone. That's what I meant when I said the road ahead is uncertain. It's not just about the game's current balancing issues, it's about how they might evolve over time. Because let's be real, launching exclusively on Game Pass and Epic isn't exactly reaching the widest audience. 33 Immortals is the kind of game that needs to be everywhere. I'm talking PlayStation, Switch, especially Steam. Heck, if I were them, I'd even be testing out a TI-84. This game's survival depends on its community and the ability to consistently fill lobbies. A week after launch, we were worried about the player base making it through level 2. By the time 1.0 arrives, will there even be enough players left? I certainly hope so, but in 2025, we've seen our fair share of online games bite the dust. It feels like the devs are walking a tightrope here, literally balancing the game while figuratively balancing the player base. But man, if they can pull it off, this is something special. We've talked a lot about the gameplay, but we haven't even touched on the art direction. The way it blends Dante's Inferno style theming with its visuals and soundtrack is incredible. It feels like every great indie these days is pushing art direction forward, and 33 Immortals is right there with them. That's kind of my point. This game has so much going for it. If it can overcome its challenges, it's easily an all-time favorite. If I were you, I'd hop in now just to experience the high of taking down Lucifer, but hopefully there are many more highs to come when it releases in 1.0 next year.
Thanks for watching, guys. We cover all things co-op games here, previews, reviews, and even news via our co-op monthly series. So if you want to stay in the know, make sure you subscribe and follow us on our socials. If you want to support us, check out our Patreon, where we give you first impressions of games via our Patreon exclusive series, Play and Banter. Thank you to those already supporting us there. We'll catch you next time on another episode of The Co-op Bros.